ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence chatbot built by OpenAI, has been on an ambitious killing spree. Timelines overflow with eulogies to its victims, search engines, copywriters, coders, high school essays, and many more. Now, reports of these impending deaths may be exaggerated. Human beings love to write the words, "This will change everything," only to shrug a year later when this changed very little. ChatGPT might be a game changer, it might not be. Either way, the bot is undeniably impressive. What really astounds is its rhetorical muscle, its ability to generate paragraphs of coherent argument or narrative. Obviously, there are several million humans to which it can't hold a candle in this regard, but it instantly hurdled several million others, landing somewhere in the neighborhood of a high school student who's perfectly happy with a B- on their Pride and Prejudice book report. 20 years ago, that was my neighborhood. If I had access to ChatGPT in 10th grade English, I would have used it without compunction. Why waste a perfectly good afternoon scratching out a 5-paragraph essay on Austen's depictions of social... In the last few weeks, ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence chatbot built by OpenAI, has been on an ambitious killing spree. Timelines overflow with eulogies to its victims, search engines, copywriters, coders, high school essays, and many more. Now, reports of these impending deaths may be exaggerated. Human beings love to write the words, "This will change everything," only to shrug a year later when this changed very little. ChatGPT might be a game changer, it might not be. Either way, the bot is undeniably impressive. What really astounds is its rhetorical muscle, its ability to generate paragraphs of coherent argument or narrative. Obviously, there are several million humans to which it can't hold a candle in this regard, but it instantly hurdled several million others, landing somewhere in the neighborhood of a high school student who's perfectly happy with a B- on their Pride and Prejudice book report. 20 years ago, that was my neighborhood. If I had access to ChatGPT in 10th grade English, I would have used it without compunction. Why waste a perfectly good afternoon scratching out a 5-paragraph essay on Austen's depictions of social class when I could generate this in seconds? In America, we don't call this cheating. We call it working smarter. Maybe the eulogies are fitting. Maybe we'll outsource writing to ChatGPT like we outsourced math to calculators, spelling to spell check, memory to the internet. To a certain extent, the prevalence of essay writing in school reflects the decline of memorization as a method of teaching and learning, a decline that feels inevitable, maybe even appropriate in a world where the totality of human knowledge is pocket-sized. We assign essays because they allow teachers to gauge a deeper understanding in their students. They require more than just recall. They require a personal synthesis of information which can't be outsourced to a machine, or couldn't be until a few weeks ago. Pretty soon, English teachers are going to get that question math teachers have been getting for decades. When will we ever need this stuff in real life? Now, bullshit won't work here. Teens are just too savvy for that. The truth is that you'll probably never have to calculate a definite integral once you leave school. And the truth is, we'll likely outsource many categories of basic writing to AI and never look back. Now, for other, more complex kinds of writing, you could simply start with ChatGPT, let it provide the basic structure, then edit to your liking. Editing, after all, is another way to synthesize information. Maybe ours will become a culture of editors, tweakers, embellishers. Would that be so bad? Well, the insipid teenage me would probably say no, but the 34-year-old me, the one who ironically became a professional essayist, leans the opposite way. The difference between writing and editing is like the difference between writing and reading. Reading is enormously important. Obviously, it closes the gaps of our ignorance and expands our knowledge, but it does so through the language of others. their words, their sentences, their narratives and arguments. Editing, too, begins with the language of someone else. In the case of ChatGPT, something else. Of course, to some extent, writing is editing, too. We inherit our language and its rules from culture, from the past. We express ourselves through a system that we didn't invent. But that system is so infinitely flexible that we can use it to create structures of our own. Language is how human beings understand themselves and the world. But writing is how we understand uniquely. Not to write is to live according to the language of others, or worse, to live through edits, tweaks, and embellishments to language generated by an overconfident AI chatbot. I doubt this argument would convince the teenage me to resist a free magic tool that promises easy grades for less work. As ever, it's left to teachers to impassion their students within a system that prioritizes grades over learning. Often they succeed, but even when they don't, they still do the heroic work of giving insipid high schoolers like myself basic writing competence. In my 20s, when I began to wonder who I really was and what I really believed, questions that come for all of us, I discovered that writing, structuring language of my own, was the only way to find out. That's when the foundation teachers worked so hard to give me proved its immense value. I hope future generations have a similar foundation. One way or another, new writing is on its way from the future to make sense of all of us. I think we'll prefer it to be our own. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this whole year. It's been an incredible 2022. This episode was brought to you by Squarespace. If you don't know, you can use Squarespace to make websites for anything you might need. Want to make a site for your video content? Well, you can upload your video library to access to that app to make pro-level videos. To use is going to make Square for 10 and
Right for a software engineering job at Amazon India for someone who has 3 years of coding experience and is a software engineering graduate from college. क्या AI आपको जॉब देने वाली है या आपकी जॉब लेने वाली है? इस वीडियो में मैं आपको चैट जीपीटी के बारे में बताऊंगा जो शायद दुनिया बदल देगी एंड आपको उसके बारे में या तो चौकन्ना रहना पड़ेगा या उससे आप अपनी जिंदगी बदल सकते हैं। चैट जीपीटी क्या है?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, the viral sensation that could completely reset how we do things.
And I think we also need to see the opportunities that this new technology is offering.
But the AI program has a dark side, which not many people know about.
ChatGPT शायद फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग टेक्नोलॉजी है जो इस दुनिया ने आज तक कभी भी सीखी है। यकीन नहीं आता? ये देखिए, 1 मिलियन यूजर पहुंचने के लिए 10 लाख लोग अगर उस टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज कर रहे हैं, उसको पहुंचने के लिए नेटफ्लिक्स को लगे 3.5 साल, एयरबीएनबी को लगे 2.5 साल, फेसबुक को लगे सिर्फ 10 महीने, स्पॉटिफाई को लगे 5 महीने, इंस्टाग्राम को सिर्फ 2.5 महीने, आईफोन को लगे करीब 75 दिन। लेकिन एक चीज है जो 1 मिलियन यूजर तक पहुंच गया सिर्फ 5 दिन में, चैट जीपीटी। चैट जीपीटी क्या है? चैट जीपीटी एक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंट टेक्स्ट फॉर्मेशन या जनरेशन टूल है जहां आप उससे गुफ्तगू करके कुछ भी जनरेट करवा सकते हैं, किसी भी सवाल का जवाब मिल सकता है आपको। जैसे कि मैंने आपको दिखाया कि आपने एक सवाल के थ्रू एक 300 वर्ड का कवर लेटर टुवर्ड्स अमेज़न इंडिया की एक सॉफ्टवेयर जॉब, जब आपके पास 3 साल की कोडिंग एक्सपीरियंस है और आप कॉलेज से एक सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग की डिग्री कर चुके हैं, डिड दैट लिटरली इन 15 सेकेंड्स एंड आप कुछ भी ऐसा कर सकते हैं दैट यू वुड वांट एन आंसर टू थ्रू ChatGPT। ChatGPT काम कैसे करता है? द ब्यूटी अबाउट एनी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सिस्टम इज जो भी दुनिया में आज तक डेटा प्रोड्यूस हुआ है वो उसको ट्रेन करता है. सो इट अंडरस्टैंड्स कि चीजें कैसे चलती हैं, कौन कौन से टेक्नोलॉजीज आई हैं, कितना नॉलेज आया है किताबों में से, रिसर्च पेपर में से, एंड लोग कैसे बात करते हैं या सोचते हैं अबाउट थिंग्स दैट ट्रेन्स इट. तो अगर हमारे पास कोई एक सिस्टम हो जो दुनिया की सारी नॉलेज एक कंप्यूटर में डाल पाए और उसको ट्रेन करे टू लर्न हाउ इट विल कंज्यूम दैट बिकम्स स्मार्ट. ये एक नई टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है कि पहली बार एक चैट बॉट रिलीज हुआ है, लेकिन चैट जीपीटी इज सो गुड कि पहली बार शायद एक ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी आई है जो इंसान और रोबोट में फर्क कम और कम करे जा रही है. सो मच सो कि अगर एक इंसान इस चैट जीपीटी के आंसर को पढ़ेगा तो शायद वो ये कंक्लूड नहीं कर पाएगा कि वो एक इंसान ने लिखा है या एक मशीन ने. एंड दिस इज द फेमस ट्यूरिंग टेस्ट. ट्यूरिंग टेस्ट वाज डिवाइज्ड टू इंटरप्रेट या अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या एक मशीन आर्टिफिशियली इंटेलिजेंट या स्मार्ट है या नहीं. एंड द टेस्ट वाज सिंपल कि क्या एक इंसान ये डिटरमिन कर सकता है पढ़ के कि ये एक मशीन ने निकाला है या एक इंसान ने निकाला है. एंड आई वुड कंक्लूड कि चैट जीपीटी इज बिकमिंग इंक्रीजिंगली मोर समथिंग दैट कैन पास द ट्यूरिंग टेस्ट. लेकिन इस चैट जीपीटी को आप अपनी जिंदगी में कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं, आइए जानते हैं. सबसे पहले चैट जीपीटी यूज करने के लिए आपको chat.openai.com पे जाना होगा. इट विल देन अलाउ यू टू क्रिएट एन अकाउंट. बहुत बार इनके सर्वर्स डाउन होते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि इतना ज्यादा लोड आ गया है विच दे डिड नॉट एंटिसिपेट कि धीरे 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 करके दे आर गेटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ डिमांड. तो उन्होंने एक प्रीमियम वर्जन हाल ही में रिलीज किया विच इज फॉर $42 अ मंथ. मतलब ऑलमोस्ट $3,500 which is a lot of money. लेकिन will someone like me pay for it? 100%. $3,500 for generating this kind of content, जहां मैं अपने वीडियो के आइडियाज भी इसमें लिख देता हूं. 10 ways of being a smart investor, 20 things that new investors make a mistake around, and it will give me all the results. और उसी के थ्रू मेरे को इंस्पिरेशन मिलता है. So chat.openai.com पे आप अपना अकाउंट खोल सकते हैं and then you can start chatting. For example, मैं एक नई चैट शुरू करता हूं and you'll see it on the screen. What are the examples that you can use? Capabilities क्या-क्या हैं? So it remembers what the user had said earlier in the conversation. So you'll see here are all the questions that I have asked already. It will also be trained to decline inappropriate requests. तो अगर मैं ये चाहता हूं वापस applying for software engineering and you will see इस cover letter को मैं या thumbs up या thumbs down दे सकता हूं. तो अगर मैं thumbs up देता हूं so it knows कि ये सही जवाब था and that feeds back into the training program. अगर मैं इसको डाउनलोड देता हूं तो it again feeds back into the training program और उससे वो स्मार्ट होता रहेगा. And of course so let's ask a simple question. And ये एक तरीका है चैट जीपीटी को यूज करने का कि आप क्रिएटिव आइडियाज जनरेट करना चाहते हैं. So they have a suggestion, get any creative idea for a 10-year-old's birthday. And आप उस पे करेंगे and it starts giving you ideas कि आप एक स्कैवेंजर हंट कर सकते हैं, बेसिकली ट्रेजर हंट कर सकते हैं, आप एक थीम पार्टी कर सकते हैं, एक मूवी नाइट कर सकते हैं, एक स्लीप ओवर पार्टी कर सकते हैं अगर छोटे बच्चे हैं, अगर एक DIY स्पा डे कर सकते हैं. थोड़े थोड़े फिरंग आंसर है but if you and this is something that we can do. Yeah, so we can say give me 10 creative ideas for a 7-year-old Indian kid staying in India or for a 7-year-old kid staying in India. Let's see ये आंसर उससे कितने अलग होते हैं. थीम पार्टी, पपेट शो एंड मैजिक शो जो यहाँ नहीं था. एंड इंडिया में पपेट शो मैजिक शो बहुत चलते हैं. DIY क्राफ्ट्स पार्टी. सो इट डिड नॉट से कि स्पा डे करते हैं क्योंकि स्पा डे कौन करता है बच्चों के लिए. हम तो खुद ही बड़े भी स्पा नहीं जाते हैं. लेकिन क्राफ्ट्स पार्टी चल सकती है. अ कुकिंग पार्टी, अ मूवी नाइट, नेचर एक्सप्लोरेशन पार्टी, अ स्पोर्ट्स डे, पपेट मेकिंग, साइंस एक्सपेरिमेंट, स्टोरी टेलिंग. सो यूल सी इन्होंने थोड़ा सा इसको इम्प्रोवाइज किया एंड दैट इज जस्ट सो स्मार्ट एंड दिस हैपेंड इन लिटरली 5 seconds. तो आप क्रिएटिव आइडियाज इससे बना सकते हैं. यू कैन हैव अनदर चैट एंड इट सेज राइट मी अ लव सॉन्ग फॉर माय गर्लफ्रेंड हु इज टर्निंग 23 this month. Oh, sorry, love song karna tha. But ठीक है, I think it understood. She's the light in my darkest days, the one who brightens all my ways. With her, everything just feels right. She's my stunning star, my guiding light. Da, 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 da. And then कोरस भी आ गया. अरे वाह, कोरस भी है. Happy birthday, my love, my angel. You bring me so much joy and happiness. I'm so grateful for every moment. Wish you. My heart is truly blessed. It was two. Outro भी बना रहा है. My God. So you get all of these. अभी आप खुद के लिए भी कर सकते हैं. The idea is कि आप इससे अपनी क्रिएटिविटी एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं. नंबर 2, you can actually, as a student or as a working professional, get ideas around your work. तो अगर आपको होमवर्क असिस्टेंस करना है या चाहिए, या आपको अपने प्रोजेक्ट पे कुछ काम करना है, लेट्स से आपका प्रोजेक्ट है, think of, let's say you have to write a document or a page on what are the 2 or 3 things that India should do for youth development. ये आपका एक प्रोजेक्ट, चाहे स्कूल में हो या कॉलेज में हो या वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स अपने काम में हो. So it says list down 8 ways that the Indian youth can be skilled for the next 10 years. Let's see. तो it will start giving you suggestions. आप vocational training कर सकते हैं, आप apprenticeship बना सकते हैं, you can have online learning, which is of course something that we are all aware of. आप certification courses कर सकते हैं. So it's giving you ideas, and ये ideas आपके homework में आपको assist कर सकते हैं, आपके project report में आपको assist कर सकते हैं. Everything, because this is the best of what the world's knowledge is, trained on a system to make it scalable. आप ChatGPT से कोई चीज समझ भी सकते हैं. If your learning style is reading, then this is the best way to read. तो अगर आप बोलते हैं explain Newton's first law in simple language as if I am 5 years old, and then it starts. Newton's first law is like a rule for how things move. It says that if something is sitting still, it will stay still unless something else makes it move. बहुत simple तरीका है ये explain करने का, but this is how it would explain it for you or to you. You can go and top it up. Explain, and let's say another chat. Explain stock investing to someone who has never invested in stocks before, and it will go. Stock investing is the process of buying shares of ownership in a publicly traded company. When you buy a stock, you become a part owner. So it will start explaining it as well. So ChatGPT is a great way for you to learn something new if your learning style is reading. Number 3, and this is brilliant for coders. आप actually ChatGPT से, मैं चैपटी करना वाला था, ChatGPT से आप कोड जनरेट करवा सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ है, हाउ डू आई मेक एन HTTP रिक्वेस्ट इन जावास्क्रिप्ट. तो अगर आप करेंगे, it will actually show you how it works, and you can then start using it in your code as well. And ये देखिए, there is an option for you to copy the code, and फिर इसी कोड को आप अपने कोड में डाल सकते हैं. All of this is open source and free to use. कोई copyright नहीं है, कहीं भी कोई challenge नहीं, कोई restriction नहीं है, and this is just wild. This is just one thing. मुझे कोड आता भी नहीं है, so I don't even know what should be the right question to ask, but this will be such a great way to do that. Next, you can actually get meaningful relationship advice. ChatGPT एक machine है. It doesn't have any emotions. लेकिन वो जिस knowledge पे, जिस data पे train हुआ है, उसमें दुनिया के हर एक चीजों का जज्बात घुसा हुआ है, जुड़ा हुआ है. So if I were to ask ChatGPT, how do I get rid of a toxic friendship that I have had since childhood? I am scared to end it because it's been so long. Let's see what is the answer it gives here. Ending a long-term friendship can be difficult, but it's important to remember that it's okay to let go of relationships that are no longer healthy or beneficial for you. Here are some steps that you can take to end a toxic relationship. And fear, it actually gives you a step-by-step guide that you can use to get to the answer. Limit contact, seek support, set boundaries, acknowledge the problem, and be prepared for the possibility of a negative reaction. हम सबको पता है what that means. It's just like, उनका दिमाग फट जाता है, ये कैसे हो गया, कहाँ हो गया, तुम बचपन की दोस्ती तोड़ दोगे, blah 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 blah. And then it also says it is also important to remember that this decision is not easy and it is okay to take time to think about it and that you don't have to do it alone. ये एक कंप्यूटर आपको ये बोल रहा है. It's almost like एक इंसान, एक थेरेपिस्ट, एक दोस्त आपको ये एडवाइस दे रहा है. It's just so pure, but that's how it works. You can also write music in any genre. ChatGPT का एक बहुत बड़ा strength, जैसे कि मैंने बताया था, is learned creativity. तो you can actually create music and says, write a poem on losing a loved one and realizing that you were the one who made the mistake. Let's see how that goes. In sorrow's grip, I do reside, for the one I loved has now died. I see the errors of my ways and realize the mistakes I made. I took for granted every day and let my love slip away. I should have cherished every breath, but now it's too late in death. Like that's actually a kavita. It is actually a kavita. Let's try and see अगर ये हिंदी में कर सकता है. In Hindi. And you can see pace थोड़ा slow हो गया है because it is actually trying to generate this in real time. ये सवाल पहले कभी नहीं पूछा गया है, इस shape and form में कभी नहीं पूछा गया है, और ये जो कविता इससे निकल के आ रही है, ये कभी भी किसी और के साथ शेयर नहीं हुई है. It's the first time that the world is actually witnessing this कविता come out. किसी को खोते हुए अब मुझे समझ में आया, किसी को खोते हुए अब मुझे दर्द हो गया. क्या मैंने किसी को खोने के लिए कुछ किया था? क्या मैंने किसी को खोने के लिए कुछ गलत किया था? नेचुरली उतनी बढ़िया नहीं है जितनी वो इंग्लिश वाली थी. लगे हुए हैं, देखते हैं. अब मैंने समझा है कि मैंने किसी को खो दिया, किसी को खोते हुए अब मुझे सब कुछ खो गया. यहाँ चैट जीपीटी भी खो गया. एंड यू कैन इमेजिन कि ये शुरुआत है, clearly not done a good job, लेकिन धीरे 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 करते करते it will actually get to that point जहां ये कविता भी निकल जाएगी. अभी तो ये खोया हुआ है. Okay, stop generating. I think you have done it. That also reminds me, ChatGPT बहुत अलग अलग भाषाओं में भी काम कर सकता है. So it can actually say write a cover letter for Amazon Italy for a software engineering job in Italian language. And it's actually doing that. मुझे इटालियन नहीं आती है तो मुझे नहीं पता है कि ये सही है कि नहीं है. अगर हिंदी is anything to go by तो शायद इतना अच्छा नहीं होगा जितने इंग्लिश में था, लेकिन it is throwing up something which we don't know what, and it works. And finally, ChatGPT एक बहुत interesting companion बन सकता है. ये एक टेक्स्ट है तो थोड़ा सा वक्त लगता है लिखने में, but imagine अगर ChatGPT वॉइस में यूज होना शुरू हो जाए. So it could actually interpret कि आपकी आवाज क्या पूछने की कोशिश कर रही है and then gives you the answer in that same term. तो आप इसके साथ खेल सकते हैं. And do you know my name? Let's see. I'm sorry, I do not know your name. Is there anything else that I can help you with? ठीक है, नहीं पता. That's perfectly fine. What is likely to be the future of the world? So it's difficult to predict the future of the world with certainty as it depends on a complex set of factors that can change rapidly. And then कुछ अपने जवाब दिए जा रहा है, आपके साथ खेल सकते हैं. So whenever you're getting bored, you can just play around. And I actually do that. मैं बहुत ChatGPT अब यूज करता हूँ क्योंकि मैं इसके through just सीखता रहता हूँ. I just ask questions, try and learn, try and figure out कि ये क्या बोल रहा है, कैसे बोल रहा है, try and figure out कि इसको कैसे वो ट्रेनिंग मिली होगी, कहाँ से मिली होगी, for it to do that, and it's just so much fun. तो सवाल अब ये उठता है कि अगर ये एक powerful tool पैदा हो चुका है, and this is not just the first one, but one of many, लेकिन सबसे powerful अभी ये लग रहा है, and ये शुरुआत है. वॉइस में सोचिए, फिर वीडियो में सोचिए, फिर म्यूजिक में सोचिए, फिर पोस्ट प्रोडक्शन में सोचिए, and you are clearly looking at a world जो 5-10 साल में इतना बदलने वाला है that you will have no idea इसको कैसे करना है. Will it take your job or not? The answer is yes, and the answer is no. अगर आप एक ऐसा काम करते हैं जो repeatable है, जो एक मशीन बहुत जल्दी सीख सकती है, तो फिर आपकी जॉब खतरे में है. बट वन थिंग दैट आई होप यू नोटिस्ड कि इस चीज को चलाने के लिए एक चीज होनी बहुत जरूरी है, वो सवाल. एक मशीन आपको सिर्फ एक जवाब दे सकती है. वो अभी तक मुझे नहीं लगता कभी एक सवाल पूछेगी. सवाल सिर्फ हम पूछ सकते हैं, सवाल सिर्फ आप पूछ सकते हैं. एंड अगर आपके पास सवाल पूछने की क्षमता हो, देन आप किसी भी मशीन के साथ काम कर पाएंगे और वो मशीन फिर आपकी गुलाम बनेगी. इट विल नॉट बी समथिंग दैट रिप्लेसेस यू, इट विल समथिंग दैट विल एग्जिस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ यू. एंड आपको फिर अपनी पूरी ट्रेनिंग सिर्फ कंज्यूम करने में नहीं, एक्चुअली सवाल पूछने में. दैट्स व्हाई आई ऑफन से कि सबसे बढ़िया सीख तब होती है जब आप उस चीज की तह तक जाकर, जड़ तक जाकर उसको समझने की कोशिश करते. और वो तभी होता है जब आप सवाल पूछते हैं. सवाल पूछते रहते हैं. सो स्टार्ट क्वेश्चनिंग एवरीथिंग दैट्स हैपनिंग. अगर आप कोई सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म खोलते हैं एंड उसमें आपको कुछ मजा आ रहा है, आपको रील्स बहुत पसंद आ रही हैं, शॉर्ट्स बहुत अच्छी लग रही हैं, सवाल पूछिए. What about this made it work? What about this made it so exciting for me? What about this got me hooked on? And उस सवालों से आपको फिर नए नए जवाब मिलेंगे एंड उन जवाबों से आप और सवाल पूछेंगे एंड दैट इज हाउ यू विल गेट ट्रेन्ड फॉर टुमारोज वर्ल्ड. ये दुनिया इतनी तेजी से बदल रही कि ये सारे टूल्स हम सब के सामने खड़े होंगे एंड फिर बहुत सारे लोग गिर पड़ेंगे बिकॉज दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू कम्पीट. एंड ये दुनिया सिर्फ और सिर्फ वही लोग आगे बढ़ाएंगे और चलाएंगे जो कि सवाल पूछने की क्षमता रखते हैं, बिकॉज दे आर द वंस हु विल बी कंट्रोलिंग द मशीन्स. तो आपकी जॉब खतरे में है, लेकिन अगर आप सवाल पूछते रहेंगे तो आपकी जॉब एक नई जॉब में बदलेगी, which will be working with these tools, these machines to make the world a better place. Ankur Warikoo, signing off. मेरी नई किताब गेट एपिक शिट डन अब मार्केट में अवेलेबल है. इस किताब में मैं 36 ऐसे सवालों के जवाब देता हूं जो आप अपनी जिंदगी से शायद हर रोज पूछते हैं. बहुत सिंपल किताब है. एक स्टूडेंट और एक टीचर के बीच में एक कॉन्वर्सेशन में ये किताब लिखी गई है. इस बुक को खरीदने के लिए लिंक Amazon का पिन कमेंट और डिस्क्रिप्शन में है.
A lot of you don't know exactly where to find paid internships when you're in college. Okay, when you're in college, it's really important for you to keep taking internships, keep learning and keep experiencing how the corporate world works and how do you create projects, how do you manage projects, and how do you interact with people. And for that, having an internship really helps out a lot. Okay, so in this video I'll be talking about how can you get started with internships, what internships you can have, what skills do you need if you're in college, and I'll be talking about what are the paid internships that you can get. Okay, so we will be talking about the platform, the skill, the payment that you get. Okay, so all of these things we'll be covering in this video. This is especially for people who are in college, in engineering college or whatever college you're in. It does not matter, but yeah, let's get into this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ishan Sharma, and if you are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe and also like this video. And today I want to talk about getting paid internships in college. So first of all, it's really simple for you to get a free internship, okay, in which you're not getting paid, and that's not a good place to work. Okay, I feel that if you are working somewhere, you should definitely get paid, unless it's like a college startup and you do share the same sort of the same vision that the founder is sharing, then you can definitely work for free in the meantime. Okay, and just see what happens. Okay, so don't work for free, all right? And there are a lot of scams available on the internet that you can just get into that will really cost you a lot of money. First of all, if anyone tells you that you will be getting this internship, but to avail this internship you need to pay me like 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, don't fall into this trap. Okay, please understand this is not how getting a job works. You work for the company, so you need to get paid. You don't need to pay them for the application fee or some any kind of BS that they are telling you. Okay, don't fall into this trap. Number 2, you need to be online on a few platforms that we'll be talking about in this laptop, and we'll be going into detail what platform you should use. Okay, so all of that we'll be doing in this video. All right, let's get started. All right, so if you want to get internships, one great platform that you can get started with is called AngelList. Okay, so AngelList is a platform that was made by Naval Ravikant. this doesn't matter. All right, anyways, so you can just go to angel.co. Okay, angel.co. Yeah, so this particular website is where all the startups are putting their job openings. Okay, what you can do is that you can take a look at places like yourstory.com or something. Here they will just talk about the recent startups that got funded, and this way you understand that these are the startups that have a lot of money with them. They have a lot of cash. Okay, take a look at this. Let's take a look. Okay. Funding, you can just search for a startup that got funded recently. Okay, and just make sure that you search for that startup on LinkedIn as well. Okay, so if you open up LinkedIn, and I'll show you an example. There is this recent startup called as FamPay. Okay, and you can just go for FamPay over here. And over here you can just see and take a look at if they have any job openings right now. And just talk to people and see if there are any job openings. These are all the people that work at FamPay. Okay, this is just an example, guys. I don't know if they have job openings or not. Okay, this is just one company that just came at the top of my head. So FamPay is over here. You can just contact someone from this team. This way you can just talk to them and just ask them if there is some sort of an opening available at the particular startup. Okay, or you can definitely search on your story or other startup blogs to understand if there is a job opening. And then when you're on AngelList, simply just search for a job title. So let's just go for front-end developer. Okay, remote only. Let's just search for this, and here you can see all the startups that are hiring for a front-end developer. Okay, so you have Zetire is an online store like they have so many of these startups over here. You can see, take a look at the salary. Okay, 2.5 lakh to 4 lakh. Okay, and then there are also startups like this one. Hype Corp is giving 0 salary and 0 equity. Okay, this is what you should avoid. Never do this. Never go for startups that offer you 0 money, 0 equity. What this means is that they have no money, they only have a concept, and they want you to build their app for them or build their website for them. This is bad. Okay, they have no proof of concept. Never work for these startups unless you are among the founding people. Okay, if you know the founders really well, if you really believe in them, only then should you be believing in such startups. Okay, this is a huge red flag. If a startup is offering you 0 salary, 0 equity, this is really bad. Because look, they might tell you that you get experience. Okay, but experience is of no use. Okay, you cannot pay at a grocery store with your experience. You cannot just say, hey, I have 1 month of experience at this startup. They don't care about that. Okay, what you need is money. All right, and if they're able to offer you that, that's good. Take a look at this. This startup is hiring for remote position for a front-end developer, and they're offering you $1,000. This is good enough. It's fine. It's not a lot. Just keep searching for startups that, again, you can see so many of these startups, right? No salary, no equity, front-end developer, no salary, no equity. Okay, and then you see these startups. Okay, this startup right here, 3,000 to 6,000. It's not a lot of money. It's okay if you want to get started. It's fine. Get started with this, but then make sure that you tell them to increase the price, increase the rate at which they are paying you. Okay, so this is really important. Never go for these startups that give you no salary, no equity. This is really bad for you. Okay, take a look at this. Reporter micro news app delivering 30-second video news. This one might be good. Okay, front-end developer, Mumbai possible, remote is possible, and 10,000 to 12,000 they are paying you for up to 1% of equity. Don't worry about the equity right here. Equity doesn't mean anything unless the startup does an IPO or something. Okay, which is highly unlikely. Okay, most likely the startup will make a little bit money, or in most cases no money. All right, so that's what I would say. So just keep this thing in mind. Next, I want to talk about a few skills that you can learn that will help you out in getting an internship. Okay, so if you're in college, I have a few skills that you can learn to get started with your first internship. Okay, for me, this skill was social media marketing. All right, for you, a great skill can be front-end development. Okay, everyone wants to build their own website. but they need developers for that. Front-end development. Next, another good skill can be something like graphic design. Okay, this again is really huge. All right, so if you're a graphic design intern, you might be making content and you might be designing the ad copies that they have. Okay, so this is really important. And again, digital marketing obviously is really big. Again, it comes under social media marketing itself. Okay, so these three fields, you will always find some sort of a startup job at AngelList. Let's just take a look at social media marketing. All right, so that you get a better perspective what I'm talking about. So social media, or like social media manager. Okay, and you can take a look at what they are giving you. Okay, always make sure that you take a look at what the startup is about. Let's say peer collective. Okay, search for peer collective. Okay, startup, something like this, and take a look at what they are doing and what sort of a company they are. Okay, once you understand this, then you will be able to see if this price is worth it for you or not. Okay, so this is really important to understand. Once you know front-end development, you might want to learn back-end development as well. Okay, once you know graphic design, you might want to go into animations. In fact, animation is really big right now. If you know how to create great animations and if you can put in the time, people are willing to pay you a lot more money. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Let's talk about a few scams. Okay, so scams include internshala. That's what I feel. I am not here to accuse someone. I'm not here to point fingers at someone, but this is what I feel is just not a good platform for you to get an internship. Yes, there are people that get their internships over here, but most people get an internship and they are underpaid. Okay, they are grossly underpaid. Okay, they get like 1,000, 2,000 rupees per month, which is really, really low. Okay, so never do something like this. Never go for places like internshala.com. You just won't find a good job in most cases, that is, right? That's what I would say from my own personal experience. What sites like internshala do is that they tell you, if you want a job, first of all, take this message on WhatsApp and send this to 10 people to unlock this internship for you. That makes no freaking sense to me. All right, that's completely for them to get more outreach just by offering you one internship, and you will only be paid around 1,000 rupees, I feel. Okay, it's just a waste of your time. You can take a look at all the internships available over here. Most of them are really underpaid. Okay, so just just be aware of what is happening over here. Okay, and if they are not underpaid, they will tell you to work a lot. In fact, in the internship that I was working at, they were offering me 5,000 per month, but I was working for 8 to 9 hours for them. Okay, that is not a healthy relation with how much money you make and how much time you work. I enjoyed working, all right, no doubt. I really had a fun time. I really learned a lot, but that's what I would tell you. Make sure that they don't take an advantage of you. All right, that's what I would say. So internshala is not good personally. Use AngelList. This has definitely worked with me every single time. All right, I'll tell you how it looks like when someone applies for a job. Okay, so I work at a startup called CodeDam, where we help people getting started with coding. So we wanted to hire a full stack developer. Okay, so we wanted a full stack developer. Here are all the people who have applied for this position, 48 people, and now I can take a look at what all they wrote over there. Okay, so this person is applying and they have presented their GitHub profile, their portfolio website, their projects, and all of these things. Okay, they have written a note over here. I recently came across this job which I'm interested in applying for. Its requirements completely match with my skills and qualification. Okay, so this is something that you need to write down whenever you're applying for some job. I'll give you an example on AngelList. Let's just wait for. Okay, so here you can just search for something like let's say graphic designer. Okay, if you want to get an internship as a graphic designer at a startup, let's take a look at a good. Okay, so this looks fine. I mean, if you are having no experience, about 10 to 20,000 per month salary is pretty good as a social media manager. So now what you need to do is that you need to apply for this job. Okay, So you can click on apply, and when you do that, they will ask you to write a note. Okay, and this note will be written to the person who has made this job opening. So you can just tell them that, hey, make sure that you have all of these skills, guys. Okay, so things like social media, content management, content creation, Google AdWords. So write something related to that. Okay, so maybe if you have experience with Google Ads, just write that down. Okay, so that's what I would say. Click on send application, and that's how you can apply for this job role. And just wait, they will get back to you if you have a good enough application. So that's how you can use AngelList. Now let's take a look at LinkedIn. All right, so LinkedIn also has a great platform. It's a great platform for you to just find opportunities, internships as well. So let's just go ahead and search for internship. Okay, so hashtag internship, and as you can see, the first post is that of someone who wants to hire people. We are hiring interns, HR interns, finance and accounting interns, and they want all of these people. Okay, graphic designer, social media marketing intern. Also make sure that they are paying you properly, right? Don't just blindly apply. Let's take a look at their application. And all right, so as you can see, this is the place for you to apply for this particular internship role. Okay, just write down, fill in all the details over here, and they will get back to you. That's how it works. Also, having a resume, a good resume really helps out a lot. Okay, second one, again, you can see urgent requirement. We have an urgent opening if you're looking for a job, work from home. Again, that's just really amazing. Okay, only 25 serious people needed for the work. And they have all of these, you can take a look at this. 25,000 to 55,000 rupees you can earn with this internship. This is really good, and you should definitely consider checking it out. Okay, and these posts are filled with people wanting to hire interns for some sort of a project. So this is really good, and you should always use LinkedIn. It's a great platform for you to get opportunities. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about. Use the hashtag internship, hashtag intern. Okay, and again, take a look at what startups are getting funded, and contact the hiring managers or people who are working for that startup, and just ask them politely that, hey, XYZ, is it possible for me to help you grow your startup? First of all, congratulations for getting funded. And they have a lot of money with them, and they want to invest it properly. Okay, so if you have the skills, if you have the talent, they will definitely hire you. All right, that's what I would tell you if you want to get an internship. Okay, internships, the best place to get internships again is LinkedIn and AngelList. All right, and the skills you can learn, if you can learn video editing, that's also really amazing. So all of these come under popular skills that you can learn and get started with getting your first internship. All right, so that's it from me. Also make sure that you are getting paid properly. Okay, just keep searching, keep asking your seniors how much money they are getting paid, so that you have a good idea about what is the average rate people are paying. All right, so yeah guys, that's it from me. I hope you got a clear picture of how can you get a paid internship in India. It's really important that